In Igbo land, there is a proverb. Akwuru etu ebe ekiri mmọnwụ. And again, in Igbo land, there is a proverb that onye ije ka onye isi awọ akụkọ. Free and fair election is the only solution to our disunity now. Because if we have the ability to choose our leaders in a free, fair, credible, verifiable, periodic election, then we will say that our will be imposed on the leadership of Nigeria, and they will give us the dividends of democracy. Anything short of that is going to threaten the existence of this country, not because of ethnic chauvinism or religious fanaticism, but because you cannot sustain a diverse people living together in abject poverty.
2 days ago, precisely on the 22nd of October 2024, General Yakubu Gowon celebrated his 90th birthday.
Today, Baba General Yakubu Gowon, former head of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, walking majestically into the auditorium. Look at him, he's looking.
And on that celebration day, he made a speech saying that the 1967-1970 Biafran War was fought to keep Nigeria united and in peace. And I laughed. It's just a laughable statement. The question I asked when I saw that message was, how is Nigeria united now? How is Nigeria peaceful now? How is it? Anyways, for those of you that don't know General Yakubu Gowon, he is the Nigerian head of state as of then, 1967 to 1970, when Biafran War was fought. And so he has every power. He has all it takes to stop that war from coming to pass. But he allowed it.
The so-called rising sun of Biafra is set forever. It will be a great disservice for anyone to continue to use the word Biafra to refer to any part of the East Central state of Nigeria. The tragic chapter of violence is just ended. We are at the dawn of national reconciliation. Once again, we have an opportunity to build a new nation.
Anyways, today he is celebrating his birthday. That one being apart, another thing wey vex me for this video be say, our own brother, Mr. Peter Obi, went there on that celebration day and was telling General Yakubu Gowon, congratulations. And then I asked, congratulations for what? Mr. Peter Obi, congratulations for what? Congratulations for bringing your brothers and sisters down. Congratulations for taking your parents away. Congratulations for what? Anyways, I will allow you to watch the video where this man, Barrister Kenneth Okongwo, gave the analysis of how General Yakubu Gowon played a role on that 1967 to 1970 Biafra. The role that General Yakubu Gowon played and the role that he's playing today and the things that transpired. All right, so I will allow you to watch it, but please, I want you to do one thing for me. There are so many news coming up. As I'm talking to you, there is something happening in Biafran land that I want to post here for you to watch, but because I cannot post 2 or 3 or 4 content at once, all right, this platform get as they be, so you have to post one, then give it time to to get to viewers before you post another one. So I have created another channel. So please look at the channel and help me. You go to my comment section now. You will see the link. Go there and subscribe to that channel, because I will also be dropping updates of what is happening on that channel. Please, I beg you, please go to the comment section now. You will see the link. Go there, subscribe to it, and I will not be dropping the same content, so that I will be dropping another information there. Information that is very, very important. All right, so please go there and subscribe to it. Meanwhile, let us dive down to this one.
Reactions have continued to trail the statement by Nigeria's former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, retired, that the country's civil war of 1967 to 1970 was fought to keep the country together and not a question of defeating any part of the country. He made the statement in commemoration of his 90th birthday, which was celebrated by dignitaries and political bigwigs across the country. Speaking at the birthday Thanksgiving service held in his honor at the National Christian Center in Abuja, Gowon said the war was fought to unite the country as one entity and ensure the reintegration of the eastern region with the rest of the country. Well, for this conversation, we now turn to Kenneth Okokwo, a lawyer and politician. He will examine whether the purpose of fighting the civil war has been achieved 54 years after it ended. How truly united is Nigeria now? What are the headwinds against Nigeria's unity, and does the national rally its people towards a united country? Good to have you again on Arise News. Thanks for joining us on Newsday. So let's start, with your thoughts on the comments made by General Yakubu Gowon that the Nigerian civil war was fought to keep the country together and that it was not really about defeating any part of the country. What do you make about this? What do you make over this?
Well, first of all, we must understand that war in itself is a display of anarchy. When you talk about war, that is lawlessness at its peak. So when you say you are fighting war to keep Nigeria one, no. You fought the war as a manifestation of your incompetence in the management of the crisis that was then part of Nigerian history. And let me explain what I mean. Before independence, the colonial power, Britain, they kind of brainwashed the Nigerian people to maintain their ethnic cleavages, and they needed to make Nigerians live in that disunity so that they could continue their colonization against Nigeria. So they made the North, for instance, to believe that being educationally disadvantaged, they should not rush into independence because of the likelihood that they will be dominated by the more advanced southern Nigeria. And the North bought into that. And that was why we were delayed from 1954 to 1960. But the actual thing is that Britain just wanted more time to dominate Nigeria. So after independence, that mindset that the South is likely to dominate them remained. And the North was always at every slightest chance, reminding the South that we did not intend to be one country with you because we are suspecting your domination. But the 1966 military coup, pure military coup, has nothing to do with ethnicity or anything, even though people who organized it were predominantly from one ethnic group. But that reinforced the belief by the North that these people, we said it, they want to dominate us. And then they carried out a revenge coup in 1966 July, which was meant actually to separate from Nigeria, not to keep Nigeria one. But the Britain also reminded them that the resources are in the East. So if you leave Nigeria, we are going to support the East. So you better run now that you have acquired power to maintain Nigeria as one.
No wonder Mazen Nnamdi Kanu keeps saying that so many people think that it's because of the oil and resources in the eastern part that is making him to fight for Biafra. No, at least today they have found oil in the north. Yes, they have found oil in the north. And then of course the west is developed. Lagos is well developed. In Lagos there is refinery too. So everywhere, every part of the country has resources now they can use to manage in case if there's anything like breakup. So resources now is not the major thing.
And that made them to have a rethink. And by that time, a lot of Igbos, for instance, have been killed during the pogrom, during the massacre. So there was an entrenched suspicion between the ethnic groups. And this led them to go to Aburi for a conference, and they reached agreement. And it was still Gowon who came back and reneged on the agreement.
Did you hear that word, reneged? Did you hear it? That is to say that General Yakubu Gowon made another new one. Let's keep watching.
Which inevitably led to the bitter war. And after the war, Gowon declared again, no victor, no vanquished, and promised to reconcile, rehabilitate, and reconstruct the Southeast, which he failed again to do.
Did you hear it again? He promised to fix, do everything for the Southeast, but yet he failed on that promise again. Maybe today these people don't they fail us, so hey God.
So all the available opportunities for him to make Nigeria one and consolidate that unity, he was not able to do. But let us make one point clear, that after a while, when he himself was thrown away by some of those his colleagues, that was when maybe he recognized that what happened in 1966 was a military coup and not any ethnic coup, because he himself was thrown away by the same military people. I wonder which terminology we use to describe the ones who threw him away. But one thing is clear. After that, it looks as if he went into theology, had a rebirth, and he came back and genuinely went through our Southeast apologizing and asking for forgiveness for his role in the Civil War. And we know that though the Southeast has been marginalized and ill-treated in that war, which was not caused by them.
Which was not caused by them. Did you hear it? It was not caused by the Easterners. It was caused by Nigerian leaders then. Please follow us. We are heading somewhere.
We know that Gowon has tried to make certain types of penance. We should forgive each other because hostilities need not last forever. So I can submit respectfully that ethnic chauvinism, the youthful exuberance of the military young chaps that took over government, who were actually very impressionable at that age, their inability to manage the crisis contributed in the disunity that resulted in the Civil War. We must learn to forget and to forgive so that we will move ahead as one united Nigeria. I remember what Ojukwu said when he came back from exile. He said, we had fought one civil war. We don't need to fight another one. That he is going to go to war to fight if Nigeria is ever threatened again. And I stand by that. Nigeria being the hope of the black man. Nigeria being the hope of Africa.
Jesus, I can't believe you said this, Mr. Kenneth. What? Which Nigeria?
Nigeria being blessed and in our enlightened self-interest. The capabilities and blessings of Nigeria will be better harnessed if we come together, live together under one united Nigeria. Nigeria based on equity, unity, peace, and justice. Nigeria will achieve its aims. I support the opinion that we should move ahead now as one united Nigeria, and I'm willing to fight if Nigeria is threatened.
You do on your own.
Let me point out that presently in Nigeria, what is causing disunity is no longer ethnic chauvinism and religious fanaticism. It is now the incompetence and corruption of the leaders of Nigeria that have inflicted hunger, hardship, degradation, deprivation on the citizens, making them too poor. And when you are poor, even to adhere to theology is very difficult, because there's no reception to theology when a man is hungry. An angry man is a hungry man. A hungry man is an angry man and is easily irritated no matter what. So the threats to our unity today is poverty, which is orchestrated by the incompetence and corruption of the ruling class. World Bank report just gave a report that more than 129 million Nigerians are poor. And fuel price is now 1,200 naira per liter, unsustainable. And naira has been depreciated to the point that you have 1,700 and something naira per dollar. And you can see electricity. In 1 week, we have celebrated more than 3 national grid collapse. And some people are still pretending that they are the leaders of Nigeria. No, they are leaders of darkness, not leaders of light. And they are now the greatest source of our disunity.
So you know all these things and you still want to fight for them, Abi? Nigeria go do you.
And let me point out, free and fair election is the only solution to our disunity now. Because if we have the ability to choose our leaders in a free, fair, credible, verifiable periodic election, then we will say that our will be imposed on the leadership of Nigeria, and they will give us the dividends of democracy. Anything short of that is going to threaten the existence of this country. not because of ethnic chauvinism or religious fanaticism, but because you cannot sustain a diverse people living together in abject poverty.
Mr. Okonkwo, permit me to come in on this point. And I like your oratory prowess when articulating what Nigeria should be as a unified entity. But if that is the case, why is it that Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, someone you know very well, is being almost forced to explain his congratulatory message to General Gowon? Because the likes of Simon Ekpa and several others are saying because he's desperate for power, he's beginning to cower. Some are saying that he's desperate to become president, so he's now going soft and he's trying to belong. Hence, he's doing what he's doing, and he's trying to explain the reason why. That's to show that probably we do not see ourselves as one.
Well, let me say that all the protests, all the agitations you're seeing Nigerian over, like I said, they are results of manifestation of marginalization, manifestation of injustice, manifestation of poverty. And it is everywhere in Nigeria. You just have the Yoruba nation agitators who submitted letter to the Prime Minister of Britain that they want a separate country. You can see that Boko Haram
route. What I want to find out from you is why is Mr. Obi's statement of congratulations to General Gowon hitting up the polity is the big question if we see ourselves as one Nigeria?
Well, you should be prepared to ask Obi that when you see him. I've always said that it is good for a leader to always think before he talks. In other words, before you make a statement, it must be a statement you have thought through, and you should be able to stand by it. You should not be, a fair weather kind of leader that when they push you this side, you will explain. When they push you this side, you will explain. You should be able to articulate your view at any point and stand by it. However, like I said, no human being is infallible. He does not need to explain if he is sure what he's saying, that he believes in it. But if he needed to explain and he explained, then you should hold him responsible for his own actions and for his own words. Let me tell you something. I believe in unity of Nigeria. I believe General Gowon made a whole lot of mistakes because he himself prevaricated on a lot of things that would have prevented the war, even when they were by his own initiation. And so, when you say Peter Obi made a statement and then he's clarifying, there's nothing wrong in clarification. However, there is a need to always be sensitive and then be sure of the statement you want to make so that you don't begin to want to pander on all sides. I've always said it is good to stand on one side and then whatever consequences it is, then you take it. I don't have anything against anybody saying anything. It's a free word, freedom of expression, but you should be able to stand by your word. I don't think it has anything to do with the unity of Nigeria, because what Nigerians are looking out for now, like I said, is competent leaders of capacity. So if he expressed his opinion and withdrew it or modified it, that is his right to do, and he's entitled to it.
Now, Mr. Okonkwo, you said earlier, that the factors dividing Nigeria is not ethnic or religious affiliated, but you said corruption and bad leadership. Yep. However, some analysts, believe politicians usually use the divide and rule tactic. They use ethnicity, they use religion, to divide Nigerians in order to win election, like we witnessed in 2023. So how can Nigerians, as a people, how can the electorate rise above this very common gimmick?
Very good. Now, let me first of all agree with you that part of the incompetence of these leaders is having no policies to use to convince the people. They resort to such primordial sentiments. And that's why I'm saying that it is no longer part of our problem. Why am I saying that? The present president threw up all the ethnic cards, a Miloko, and I don't know how to speak all this, so let me not speak the one that will nail me here. But I always hear of Yoruba Rono, I don't even know what it means. However, after doing all those things, he lost his state. After saying Muslim ticket, he did not even impress anybody. He still had the least votes as in relative to the opposition. So they exploit that tendency, but Nigerians have outgrown that. They win by rigging, they win by electoral violence, manipulation, and corruption. They don't win anymore by ethnic sentiments and religious fanaticism. That's what I'm saying. That the problem we have now is that their corruption of not being able to organize free and fair election, abuse of public power for private gain. It is no longer ethnic. I mean, you can't go to the north and tell a northerner now that you're a Muslim and he should vote for you because you're a Muslim. After what he is suffering now under a Muslim ticket, you can't go to anybody in the south, in the southwest, and say vote for me because I'm from southwest. That is where the Abing power came. So I agree with you that some of these leaders, because they don't have anything, any policy to show to the people, they try to exploit such primordial sentiments. But they are fading away, even as these incompetent and corrupt leaders are fading away out of the hemisphere of Nigeria. Nigerians must rise in the interest of a united Nigeria, for the sake of the black man, for the sake of Africa, and for the sake of all of us, knowing that our diversity is our strength, knowing that united we stand, knowing that we will achieve economy of scale if we are together. Let me give you an example. If this country is divided into 6, what it means is that each of those 6 must have their own army, air force, navy, police, differently, meaning it will cost us 6 times to govern Nigeria what is costing us now once. Do you think the British, they are not wise when they amalgamated the South and the North? They did not tell us that the reason is so that they will achieve lesser cost of governance. And it has nothing to do with trying to make us to live together. We should take advantage of that. Take advantage of economy of scale. Take advantage that when we live together under rule of law, there is no challenge we will not overcome. We are building a more progressive and perfect union as we go on. It is a process. It's not an incident. Building a more perfect union. Even United States, they are still progressing in building their union. So whatever challenges we have, every Nigerian should know that it's surmountable and should not always be thinking about dividing Nigeria and separating Nigeria. We are a united nation, indissoluble and indissolvable under God. And we should move on in that capacity.
Do some Igbos share this sentiment will be the big question. Because for those who went through the war and those who were told about the war, maybe the Generation X might not be able to relate. But when you talk to every Igbo trader in Nigeria, I mean, maybe in Lagos, for example, and you talk to probably upwardly mobile Igbo men in their 50s, their 60s, they do not share the sentiment because hence we have people that are sympathetic to the causes of Nnamdi Kanu, apologies for the likes of Simon Ekpa. They still have a lot of cult following. Talk to us about this, because when you speak like this, you seem to almost ignore the fact that when you look to your left, you look to your right, there are people that still believe that they have been wronged and that one day, they will still go to utopia.
Good. Now, first of all, I am a Nigerian from Igbo extraction, and I'm very proud of that. You just said we are traders. Yes, we are traders and we are travelers. And so always there will have to be a preference between, for a larger space for anybody who by nature and nurture is a traveler and is a trader. And so in our enlightened interest, I know it as a fact that we will prefer a larger space because our nature demands that. Our nurture demands that. In Igbo land, there is a proverb. Akwụrụ etu ebe ekiri mmọnwụ. And again, in Igbo land, there is a proverb that onye ije ka onye isi awọ akụkọ. And again, so these are the things that will make an Igbo man to travel out of his comfort zone, no matter how comfortable he is. And having that nature, I am telling you, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe preferred a united Nigeria. Ojukwu preferred a united Nigeria. Kenneth Okonkwo preferred a united Nigeria. Because I know, as a matter of fact, that as a trader and as a traveler by nature, it will be better for us as Ndi Igbo. Ndi Igbo are agents of development, and they go about carrying development to anywhere they go to. I recall what w.a.r said when we were in a presidential campaign. w.a.r stood on a pulpit and said the only true Nigerians who believe in Nigeria, they are Ndi Igbo, because everywhere you will see them. And when you see them, they build their homes there and they live there and develop there. It was quite unfortunate that before 1966, our quest for developing anywhere we stay was manipulated and misconstrued to be a quest for domination. I am happy it's no longer in the minds of Nigerians to think in that pattern and in that formula. Because I remember one old man from Kanu. He said during the June 12th, when the Igbos left north, he couldn't find a part, I think Yakasai, he couldn't find one spare part he needed to repair his car. And he said, let's face it, we need each other. In this country, we need each other, especially in the Igbo, who are the agents of development. I told you before that what is threatening our unity now is the incompetence and corruption. What is happening in Lagos? Why are Igbos feeling uncomfortable? Because there are some people like Bayo Nonuga who will tell you Igbos are aliens in Lagos. Can you imagine? Aliens in Yoruba land. Somebody being an alien in his own country. Is that not the incompetence and corruption I'm talking about? Abuse of public power for private gain. If you cannot convince the Yorubas to vote for you when you are a Yoruba man, you have failed. If you need to vilify another ethnic group, these are the things that are bringing about the sentiments of marginalization and the instigation of people saying, let us have our own home if you cannot guarantee our safety in the general Nigerian country. And this is what I'm saying, that we must sit down to ensure that our country is built on equity, justice, and fairness. And you will see that every Nigerian will prefer to be a Nigerian. I am a movie actor. That's my primary constituency. Where we started Nollywood was in Lagos. And you know what? It was an Igbo film that was shot in Lagos. And the whole Nigerians accepted it. If they had anything against Ndi Igbo, they would not appreciate that movie, Living in Bondage. And that's actually remade my mind that, look, nobody is interested in marginalizing anybody. Spirit of excellence cannot be rejected, no matter where it comes from and from whoever it comes from. Well, so we must learn to be excellent in this country, excellent in leadership, excellent in whatever we do, so that we will be acceptable by everybody we are living with. Togetherness, it shall be the key, and one Nigeria should be.
So you are agreeing that the 2023 general election was not free and fair? Ew, what a country. Something that everybody knows, but nobody can do anything about it. Ew, Nigeria. So what do you think? You have watched it. Drop your comment on the comment section. And please, I beg you, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, right? Subscribe to this channel and drop your comment on the comment section, all right? So thank you and God bless you.